Hello YouTube! Dobar dan svima! Kako ste danas? This is going to be a bit of a longer lesson, so relax, grab a cup of coffee, and perhaps a pen and a paper to take some notes if you like. And let's start learning. If you are busy, the lesson is divisible into 4 parts, so you could pause and resume later. Today, you're going to learn how to say the following things. Is this your dog? Is this dog yours? This is Maria's pen. This is my friend's mother. These are the words of a wise man. Let's start with the first one. Is this your dog? For this, we're going to need some possessive pronouns. And as many other things, they come in 3 flavors. Masculine, feminine, and neutral. In Serbian, these are muški rod, ženski rod, and srednji rod, respectively. Here are the masculine pronouns, and by this I mean the object we are talking about, the possession, the dog in this case, is of masculine gender. So we have moj, that's my, tvoj, yours, njegov, njen, njegov again, naš, vaš, and njihov. If you think back to the lesson with interrogative sentences, you'll remember that there are several ways to ask a question. But also, there is more than one way to say your, since in this sentence, is this your dog, we weren't specific about who we're talking to. If we're talking informally to someone, then you could say, je li ovo tvoj pas? If you're being polite, you could say, da li ovo vaš pas? Or you could talk to a bunch of people and say, jel ovo vaš pas? Try to say this. Your wish is my command. The words you need are želja, wish, and zapovest, command. They're both feminine, but it's kind of easy. Tvoja želja je moja zapovest. You just add a to the end of the masculine pronouns and you get the feminine ones. As for the neutral gender, the first and second person, singular and plural, have e added in the end, and the third person, njegovo, njeno, njegovo, njihovo, have o in the end. How would you say this? Their child learned Serbian. If we're just talking about the process of learning that does not necessarily yield a result, then you could say učiti, which means to study or to learn. But if the process is finished and you now know Serbian, for example, you learned something, you could say naučiti, to master, to learn. Njihovo dete je naučilo srpski. There's one more thing we're going to need, the impersonal possessive pronoun svoj, one's own, which also depends on the number and the gender of the possession. Svako čuva svoju glavu. Everyone guards their own head. According to glava, head, which is feminine, we need the possessive pronoun to be also feminine and singular, so we need svoja. But since this construction requires their own head to be in accusative, svoja will also have to change, just like glava, and then we get svoju glavu. Svako čuva svoju glavu. What about the second sentence we were wondering about? Is this dog yours? Well, luckily, your is the same as yours in Serbian, my is the same as mine, etc. Je li ovaj pas vaš? Just notice that in the first sentence, this was acting like a noun, and in this sentence, is this dog yours? This is acting like an adjective, and that's why we have ovaj instead of ovo. Next we have this is Maria's pen. That's going to be ovo je Marijina hemijska. Having in mind that Maria turned to Marijina, how would you say the following sentence? Is this Anna's house?
Da li je ovo Anina kuća?
And what about, is this coffee Anna's?
Je li ova kafa Anina?
Now, let's give it a try with a masculine noun, such as chai, tea. How do we say, that is Maya's tea?
To je Majin čaj.
So, when we're making possessive adjectives from names, we also have to take care of the object that is possessed, whether it's masculine, feminine, or neutral. It does not necessarily have to be a name. It could be a noun signifying a person, such as sister, mother. Sisters is sestrin, sestrina, sestrino, depending on the gender. Mothers is majčin, majčina, majčino. Okay, we just saw how female names change. Maria, Marin, Anna, Anin. But what about male names? How do we say Dejan's pen, brother's pen, father's pen? Well, we add the suffix ove or eve in some cases to the name or noun, and you get Dejanov, Dejanova, Dejanovo, Bratov, Bratova, Bratovo, brothers, Očev, Očeva, Očevo, fathers. That comes from the noun otac, meaning father, but it changes a bit when it turns to this possessive adjective. For example, we have Dejanova mačka, Dejan's cat. Čuvam Dejanovu mačku. I'm guarding, I'm taking care of Dejan's cat. Again, Dejan's cat is an accusative here, so it changes accordingly. Now, take a look at this example. Dejanov sin is Dejan's son. Son is a masculine noun, so when this syntagm goes into the accusative, it behaves differently. It becomes Dejanovog sina. Čuvam Dejanovog sina. I'm babysitting Dejan's son. You'll notice that there's an additional complication to the Cyrillic script. Namely, the letters in italic look different than regular. We call the italic letters pisana slova, written letters, as in written by hand, and the regular ones are štampana slova, printed letters. Play around with it to see. Since obviously there are no neutral names, we can only talk about neutral nouns referring to a person. At this moment, I can only think of the word for child, dete. Then possessive of that will be detetov, detetova, detetovo. Detetova igračka, child's toy. But this is not the same as a toy for children. This is a toy that belongs to some specific child we're talking about. If you want to say children's toy, then go for dečja igračka. Okay, so the syntax of interest in this lesson have the following form: somebody's something. And generally speaking, what it sounds like depends on the owner's gender and number, and the object's gender and number. This table summarizes the suffixes you add to the name of the owner, depending on the owner's gender and the object's gender and number. But we just said that these should also depend on the number of the owner or owners, right? So where is that in the table? Well, the answer is not here. And that is because when the owner is a multitude of people or things, these rules, unfortunately, do not apply. So far, we learned how to say the first three of these sentences. Let's see what's up with "this is my friend's mother." It translates into "ovo je majka mog prijatelja." Ovo je majka mog prijatelja. We know that moj means my and prijatelj means friend. So what is this mog prijatelja? Maybe you've guessed. It's a new case. The genitive, or as we say it, genitive. Other than being used to express belonging, it can also be used to express quantity. So you can say a glass of water, some milk, a part of something, a bowl of cookies, so on. You can express quality or attributes of something. Dark-haired man, long-legged spider, and so on. You can use it to signify that something is moving away from something, like you're returning from school, from a holiday, etc. And there are a lot more uses that this lesson is too small to encompass. Now, maybe you're being suspicious about the example sentence, thinking, wait a minute, this looks a lot like accusative. And you're right, it's absolutely the same. But that's only because prijatelj is a masculine noun that stands for something living, a person or animal. Had the friend been a girl, prijateljica, the sentence would go like this. Ovo je majka moje prijateljice. And we know that in accusative, my friend would be moju prijateljicu. In genitive, all feminine nouns that end with a will have e in the end instead. The feminine nouns that don't end with a will get an additional e, such as reč, reči, word, radost, radosti, joy, so, soli, salt. So, when you want to use the genitive to express belonging, these are the additions you want to put on the owner, depending on its gender and number. This time we only care about the owner's gender and number, and not the objects. Here are some examples. Prozor kuće, the window of a house. Prozori kuće, windows of a house. Fasada kuće, the facade of a house. Vrata kuće, the door of a house. The object just changed both the gender and number, while the owner stayed absolutely the same. Kuće. So the syntax we're observing now have the following form. Object of an owner. The owner is the one that is in the genitive, and the object is in nominative. Or it can be in any other case if the sentence requires it. And when do we have to use the genitive to express belonging? When something belongs to things or animals. Peraja ribe, fins of a fish. When the owner is in plural. Haljine devojaka, dresses of girls. When the owner is not a single noun, but contains an adjective, or a number, or another word expressing belonging, e.g., prijatelj moje drage majke, my dear mother's friend. Now, listen to some sentences and try to figure out what they mean.
Šape psa su bele.
Šape psa su bele. The dog's paws are white. Pas, like other masculine nouns, gets an a in the end in genitive.
Boja mojih očiju je zelena.
Boja mojih očiju je zelena. The color of my eyes is green.
Latice ovog cveta su žute.
Latice ovog cveta su žute. The petals of this flower are yellow. Let's sum it up once again. To say that something belongs to someone or something, the simplest thing we can use are the possessive pronouns, such as moj, my, tvoj, your, and so on. Then we have possessive adjectives derived from personal names or nouns that refer to a person. Markov, sestrin. And we can put the owner into genitive and express belonging in that way. We have to use the genitive in the following cases. The owner is not a person, it's a thing or an animal, generally speaking, unless it's a pet or a fable character. So it is treated as a human. The owner is not a single person, but several or many of them. And the owner is not a single word, but contains adjectives, number, or other descriptions. Mog druga, my friends, lepe žene, pretty womans. As I've mentioned, the genitive is not only used for possessions, but can also express quantity. You need it, for instance, if you want to say a glass of water, čaša vode. It's water here that's in the genitive. Is there any milk? Ima li mleka? Milk is in genitive. There is no explicit word here for any, because the genitive is taking that role. How do we say I drank a glass of water, and to drink is popiti? Popio sam čašu vode if you're male, and popila sam čašu vode if you're female. Čašu is in accusative because it is the object of your drinking, and vode is still in genitive and always will be, no matter what you do with the word čaša. Next, we use the genitive to talk about quality. A long sleeve dress. Haljina dugih rukava. Dugih rukava is what's in genitive, so the whole description, long sleeves, not just the sleeves. With that in mind, how would you say I'm wearing a short sleeve dress? The words you need are nositi, to wear, and kratak, short. Nosim haljinu kratkih rukava. Haljinu is an accusative, while the attributes, short sleeves, are still in genitive, kratkih rukava. Then we have the time function. Useful expressions such as last year, prošle godine, this Wednesday, ove srede, are in genitive, both words. Translate this. I didn't sleep last night.
Nisam spavao prošle noći.
Or nisam spavala prošle noći if you're a girl. I haven't explicitly told you how to say you did not do something in the past, but you may have figured it on your own, since we just use the verb not to be when constructing it, instead of to be. As I said, genitive can be used in many other cases, and you will adopt them as you go. One more possible use is to say you're afraid of something, that something should be in genitive, and there is no preposition in front of it, so there is no of. Plašiti se nečega. Remember that plašiti se is a reflexive verb. On se plaši mraka. He's afraid of dark. And what are you afraid of? Čega se vi plašite? Let me know in the comments. Say it in Serbian, of course. You're about to hear a short text containing many of the things we've just learned. I've taken out some words for you first, so perhaps you can pause and take a look at them. Then try to understand as much of the text as you can. It's not important if you don't understand everything right now. I'm just letting you get a bit of feel for the grammatical cases and possessive pronouns. Okay, listen.
Jednog sunčanog dana išao sam kod svoje sestre i sreo čudnu ženu duge sede kose i pocepanih cipela. Upitala me, izvini, da li si video moju drugaricu? Izgubila sam je. Nisam, odgovorio sam. A kako izgleda ta vaša drugarica? Pa mala je, crne boje, a eno je tamo, doviđenja. Okrenuo sam se i video je kako juri crnu mačku.
If there are still new words in the text for you, you can use some of the available online dictionaries. I like to combine several dictionaries when working, and sort of cross-check them. Don't blindly trust in dictionaries. Use common sense, so if something doesn't sound right, it's probably not right. Let me translate this for you. On a sunny day, I was going to my sister's, and I met a strange woman with long grey hair and torn shoes. She asked me, "Excuse me, have you seen my friend? I lost her." "I haven't," I replied. "And what does this friend of yours look like?" "Well, she's small, black." "Oh, there she is. Goodbye." I turned around and saw her chasing a black cat. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson and learned something useful. I wish you a lovely day. До видения.